right. Number 1. Subtract 11 from both sides. If, because you have to isolate the variable. Yes, we have, because it's a warm-up for inequalities. -3. Okay, let's do number 7. Number 7, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Quiet, please. Quiet. Add 1 to both sides. Take notes, pay attention, so the next quiz you don't ask me, I don't know how to do this, help me. Okay? All right, m equals 10. Number 9, I have multiplication between the coefficient 5 and the variable k. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. I get k equals 16. What about number 10? Yes, you have to multiply both sides by 14 or 14 over 1. 14. Turn the radio down. Turn the music down. You get R equals -7, quiet. -7 times 14 is -98. Zero. Okay, let's go to inequalities. Let's review. All right, inequalities. What is the rule you have to remember for solving inequalities? Just read it. Read it. When you multiply, divide by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality sign. Number 17. We're going to graph these as well, and I think we'll graph them using, should we use interval notation? Because you're going to need it in Algebra 2 anyway. All right, let's do interval notation. All right, just like an equation, I'm going to have to multiply both sides by 16 or 16 over 1. So that the 16s cancel to 1. 1 times r is r. I'm multiplying by a positive number, so I keep the inequality sign the same. -7 times 16 is going to be -112. Okay, now, since my variable is on the left-hand side, I'm just going to follow the sign. This inequality sign does not have an equal sign, so I'm going to use a parenthesis. No equal sign, use a parenthesis. And I'm going to follow the sign shading. So I find 112, -112, right here. I'm going to put a parenthesis sign, and I'm going to follow the arrow. There's my graph. I'm not going to worry about interval notation. If you want to figure out what interval notation is, Again, you'll use it in Algebra 2 for 90% of the course. This goes out to negative infinity. Interval notation, I'm not going to require it in this course, but you should know about it, is going to be the interval from negative infinity to negative 112. This has the parenthesis, and infinities always get parentheses because you can never reach it. This is for Algebra 2. You're going to need it. For Algebra 1, just make sure you graph it correctly. Yes, sir. When is this like? I don't understand your question. Oh, always the next day. They're always due the next day. Well, you're going to have the whole class, a good half hour to do this. It's more than enough time. Problem is, you guys goof around and you don't get it done during class time. You're old enough now to get it done in class and stop goofing around. Unless you want to be in high school for 6 to 8 years. It's time to buckle down and be responsible. All right, number 19. I have to divide both sides. We have 7n greater than 0. There's multiplication between the 7 and the n. So I'm going to divide both sides by 7. 0 divided by any number is what? 0. Okay. There's no equal sign here, so I'm going to have a parenthesis, and the arrow is going to the right, so I'm going to curve that parenthesis to the right. So I go up to my graph and just write down my what I wrote down for the parenthesis and shade to the right. Questions? Don't have to worry about interval notation yet. All right, turn it over. Let's do a few of these. 21. I have 5 plus n. Subtract 5 from both sides. X is less than or equal to -2. Good. Let's see, this time I do have an equal sign with my inequality, right? My arrow's going that way. So I'm going to have a bracket and shade that way. So at -2, I'm going to have a bracket because of the equal sign. And I'm going to shade this way. Pardon me? You should write down the solutions. Everything that I write down, you should be writing down. 23. I have -10k greater than 30. I'm going to have to divide both sides by -10. So I have k. 30 divided by -10 is -3. What do I have to do with the inequality sign? Flip it because I'm dividing by a negative number. Less than -3. So my graph, no equal sign, going to be curved going to the left. So at -3, going to be curved to the left because I'm shading to the left. -25. When I have a double negative, what happens? Well, it cancels out the negative by making it a positive. So I actually have b plus 14 greater than -1. I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides. Cheyenne, put the phone away. Because you're disturbing. Yes. You're disturbing the class by talking and showing people pictures. That's people. B is greater than -15. It's going to be a parenthesis going that way towards the arrow. And I'm going to shade that to the right. So 15. Yes, as long as the variable's on the left-hand side. If it's on the right-hand side, it's a different story. Okay? So -15, shade to the right. Okay, I think we're good. Yes, it is. All right, you have a half an hour to finish the whole thing.